All right, welcome back to tonight's stream. Welcome to another video, and thank you for joining. Thank you for joining on this Friday evening, spending your Friday evenings with me. Today we're going to talk about the Model 3. I did a Model Y video yesterday and how there is a discount on a Model Y, and I'm going to do a Model 3 video today and how I found another discount. Not as good as the Model Y that I found yesterday, but it's still pretty good. It's almost better because it's almost as much as a discount, but because the Model 3 is a way or less inexpensive car, as they like to say it, it's almost better in this sense. But we're gonna go through the Model 3 discount that I found. I'll show you exactly how to get to it. We'll talk about some auction values on the Model 3 and see if there's really any movement. We'll talk about my thoughts on that. And of course, the used car market on the Model 3, what I'm predicting with that, and as well as like maybe even the tax credit for next year, if you should buy now or even wait for it. And then we'll talk about the price history of the Model 3 as well, because it's an expensive car. We'll go through some data drops for the end of this quarter or today and yesterday and see like, is it trending up or down for the end of the quarter for Tesla? And then we got some news too, with some other news about general Tesla news. We'll talk about stuff to see if anybody has any comments on it. We can throw it in the chat and throughout it. But welcome back to another video. Welcome back to another stream. Thank you for joining. My name is Dennis. I have had 3 Teslas so far. I love talking about buying and selling or even financing at good rates. Kind of like hacking Teslas, so to speak. So I've had 3 so far, a Model 3, a Model Y, and a Model S. I've enjoyed every little bit of them, but unfortunately I am now banned, at least this Dennis Wang is banned from buying a Tesla in probably the near future. So I'm not going to be getting into another one yet unless something just like pops up magically, but I am banned. If you're interested in hearing how I got banned, I actually released a video on this pretty recently. I think like this past week you can watch the whole thing, how I go into it, how I got banned, why I think I got banned, and I guess my thoughts or strategy on that. But welcome back to another channel. Please hit that like if you are, please hit the like and subscribe if you're enjoying the video. And today's video is actually sponsored by my Calendly link. If you have questions on Tesla, on buying, selling, or even financing a Tesla, and you want to get the best deal or best rates, you can actually schedule a call with me down below at my Calendly link. It's a 15-minute call and you can ask any questions. It's a very tailored one-on-one discussion. So I can point you in the right direction to how to get a good deal on Tesla. And of course, once you sign up, you'll get a link to my buying link that has all the links and resources and guides to what I use to get the best deal, or even how to get the most out of selling a Tesla, or even getting the best rate. And right now I have a financing rate that's 2.99% through a credit union for 72 months, which is the best I've seen so far in the most recent days. But today's all about the Model 3. Yesterday I did the Model Y. Today we're going to do the Model 3, and probably this weekend we'll do the Model S and the X, even though the S and the X are probably the most funnest in my opinion because they see the most action because it's such an expensive car. But drop it down in the comment below. Do you have an order now? Or drop it down in the comments below. Do you have an order on Tesla right now? Do you have a Model 3 right now, or a Model Y, or do you have an S or X? Are you thinking about getting one? Definitely hot cars. But that's the biggest question I feel like is on a lot of people's mind, or at least on my mind. Do you buy a Tesla now or wait to next year because of the tax credit, price changes, and stuff like that? And so, of course, at the end of this video, I'm going to give you my thoughts and my strategy on what I would do. But of course, you do not have to follow me at all. So today's schedule, we're going to get into the Model 3 discount that I found, the website I had to use, and the biggest one I've found so far. We'll go through the used car market on the Model 3s, especially 2022, see if there's any price decretion or loss. And also go through my strategy and what I want to see in terms of pricing that makes sense to me. And then we'll also go through like the pricing history of the previous Teslas, and of course data on how many drops have been going live for inventory from Tesla.com and stuff like that. And then I have 3 articles at the end that we can go through Tesla news, and I just want to hear what your guys' thoughts on it, because I'm always curious on the people that are watching, and like, are you a Tesla investor as well, or do you just want to buy the car, or are you just like me, you just want to save on gas at the end of the day? But let's get into it. So the Model 3 is a expensive car. Right now, if you place an order for a Model 3, a brand new one, you're going to get one for $47,000. And the timeline isn't that far from now. A lot of people say, a lot of Tesla Pro people say that you're not going to get it for months, but it seems like, according to the website, it seems like you're going to get it this October, which is next month, like a couple of weeks through December, if you ordered a brand new short range Model 3 for $47,000. This gets even crazier when you switch to a Model 3 Performance. This is now, if you switch to Model 3 Performance, it's going to say October through November. So basically it's not even a month yet, 1 to 2 months essentially immediately. And that's because Tesla wants to deliver these cars as quickly as possible to you, especially the Model 3 Performance, because it's a higher revenue car. They make more profit and they want to get into your driveway so they can, I guess, basically accept that profit. But going to the discount, we're not going to stall any more long. And the discount that I found is a Model 3 long range, actually in Los Angeles, California. It's a 2022 Model 3 long range demo. So that means it's still new. It's never been registered. You'll be the first owner on it, on the title. It's never been registered to anybody else. Tesla has kept this in their status, which is in their, either in their fleet, in their showroom, or test drive vehicles or something like that. But it's never been owned by anyone else except Tesla inventory. So you'll still be the first owner, but it has 2,800 miles on it. But because it has 2,800 miles on it, you're going to get a discount of close to $700, $690 discount, which I think it's decent. It's decent. If you're looking exactly for a red with black interior Model 3 long range, this could be the one for you. I wish it had like 1,000 miles. So maybe I would even go for like this one that has only a $200 or $250 less discount, but half the amount of miles. So you really have to put a value on how much each mile is worth to you. And the easiest way to equate that is just tires. So tires for a Tesla Model 3 long range that has 18-inch rims, those tires should last you 30 to 40,000 miles. So if you kind of equate that, essentially, then if a new set of tires is $1,000 to $1,500, then you're basically getting a third or even a half of the value in tires, so that you basically get free tires essentially, or you get like a prorated discount on the tires. So you really have to make a decision for yourself which one of these is a better discount for you. But this is a website called Waiting for Tesla, which is a third-party aggregator, if you didn't know, that just finds vehicles that are on Tesla.com. So even like if we were interested in this one with $440 discount, which is okay. It is in Florida though. So you do want to try and find cars that are close to you in whatever city or state that you're at. You do not want to ship them. But let's say you're interested in this Sarasota, Florida one with a $440 discount. You just simply click this reserve button. The reserve button goes to Tesla.com, and then you can give them your money, give them your credit card, and basically put a deposit down, and then they'll work with you in the next few days. Well, actually, they'll work with you, especially in the next few days before the end of this quarter, to deliver this car to you. The one thing to keep in mind though, every single vehicle on this website is probably going to have full self-driving loaded. So, but don't worry, you can take that off. You can ask them to remove it, and that will save you what? What is that full self-driving? Like $15,000 right now, which is just absolutely insane. So I definitely think full self-driving is not worth it. Most people just want autopilot, which comes standard and free with every single Tesla. My recommendation for every time that someone asks me, is full self-driving worth it, I say just don't get it. Get the autopilot because it already comes with standard with it. Maybe get the enhanced autopilot if you're like super interested and want those cool tech features. But even at $6,000 for that, I still don't think that's worth it. The only feature that really is on this list that is actually worth it is the auto lane change. And that basically allows it so that you don't have to turn off autopilot to move into a different lane, and it kind of just stays in the whole time, which even that's still not worth. That's worth maybe $1,000, not $6,000. But basically, I tell everyone, if you're interested in full self-driving, don't plop down the $15,000. Do something else worthwhile with that $15,000 in the meantime, unless you have money just burning a hole in your pocket. Do something else with that $15,000. Just subscribe. Instead, subscribe to the subscription for full self-driving, which I believe is like $100 to $200 a month. Test it out, see if you like it, and if you really still want it, then you can plump down the $15,000 and get the whole thing on top of that. But this is a Model 3. There's a couple that have there's a ton, actually not even a couple, there's a ton of here on this website or on Tesla.com. It says that there's 41 out of 93 available that have discounts, and they're all available right now with it's as of today, September 23rd, with 7 days left within the month. So this is actually pretty crazy. There was a ton that dropped yesterday on waiting for Tesla/Tesla.com. And the really cool thing with this website is the owner of the website tracks daily drops and inventory drops. And you can see right here, yesterday we had a ton of Model 3 and Model Ys drop, 139 Model Ys and 153 Model 3s. But today, not so much. I mean, well, when I say not so much, it's still a ton. 83 more Model 3s and 93 Model Ys. And of course, you can see here, even though there was 83 more drop today, they quickly got sold or reserved or something, because now there's only 93. So about half of them, or more than half of them, got quickly snatched up. So there still is some demand out there. There's still people that are wanting these, or it could be that these vehicles are getting matched to previous orders and that the system just had to take a day to basically align itself with that. But pretty interesting stuff. Let me know what you guys think on these discounts. Would you take one of them at a discount? Is $300, $400, or $600 enough if the vehicle has $2,000 to $3,000? Let me know what you think. And the thing is, you can actually, if you're quick enough and you have a good sales advisor, you can actually transfer one of these to your existing order, but you got to be quick enough because a lot of other people are trying to do the same thing as well. So it's just really tough. So if you have a good sales advisor that's prompt and maybe you have a better relationship, then maybe they can match one that's exactly the same to yours. But jumping over to the use or the auction values for Model 3, it's still holding pretty strong. And because the reason why this is because there's a lot of buyers as we get to the lower and lower inexpensive Tesla price ranges. There's just more buyers in this range that want to save money, like myself, and they don't want to pay for gas. So when you get down to this range, it looks like the Model 3, from this perspective, the Model 3 long range is still holding pretty good values in that upper 50s to kind of like 54, 53, which is really, really interesting. I mean, at least I think this is interesting because, well, I guess it makes sense because the 2022 long range for 55, 56, that makes sense because you can't necessarily order one to your exact specifications on the Tesla.com site. And your other option is to go $10,000 less for a Model 3 short range. But of course, that has 50 to 60,000 or 50 to 60 less mile range. So that's kind of what you're up against. But the other flip side, and for the people that are watching this channel or are more savvy about this, is there is inventory out there that you can get like immediately. So even if I had this filter down to demos only. If we filter this to new vehicles without discount, you can see, and let's just filter this to the long range. You can see that there's a good amount. There's 69 brand new Model 3 long ranges available for sale across the country. And you can see there, a lot of them have, that's interesting, a lot of these have enhanced autopilot preloaded, and that's a good, I'm wondering, can you, because we know that you can remove full self-driving to reduce the price, but that's a good question. Can you remove enhanced autopilot? I would imagine you can, and it would only make sense, but now I want something to test. I want someone to test this because I'm not 100% confident, so I don't want to say it out there that you can do this. But either way, there's other autopilot standard vehicles out there that you don't have to pay the premium with that enhanced autopilot. So like right here, there's a Model 3 long range that has a feature of rear heated seats, which actually is really interesting. But it's in Stockton, California. It's brand new, 2 miles on the range, and you can buy it for $62,000, which is just absolutely insane. But the question really is, do you buy a vehicle like this where there's speculation that the Tesla Model 3 is going to get the tax credit or not, or maybe even get a portion of it? And if you don't know, the tax credit, the federal tax credit that was signed by the Inflation Reduction Act, which doesn't go into effect till January 1st for Tesla, is split into two parts. So it's $7,500 total, and $3,750 of it is split if the vehicle is manufactured in America, and the other $3,750 is if the battery crucial minerals are mined and or created or taken from America as well. And it seems like industry experts that says that most of the battery minerals are actually coming from other countries that are not the United States and the free trade countries. So the only vehicle that might actually get the partial tax credit might be the Model Y, but a lot of people are saying that the Model 3 will also get it as well. Maybe even $3,750 or even the full $7,500, but we don't know yet. And knowing Tesla, they're not going to say anything this year because they do not want to impact this year's sales, because the credit doesn't go in effect the Tesla vehicles aren't eligible for this credit until January 1st. So Tesla's not going to announce anything about whether their vehicles are going to get the tax credit or not, because they don't want to impact any of this year's sales. So the question is, do you buy now or do you wait? Because potentially you could get anywhere from a $3,750 discount or EV tax credit when you file for your taxes back, or even a $7,500 discount. So the real question is, do you need a vehicle now? Is your vehicle broken, or are you driving $400 to $500 a month in gas? Then I would say just get a vehicle now, find one that has a good discount, and just move on, especially while you can take advantage of the low interest rates that are available through the video that I have, or that I recommend to my viewers, at 2.99% for 72 months, because we just don't know. We don't know if that's going to go up, and you're kind of just playing this game of whether you pay another half point of interest or then a whole point of interest. You're basically just going to outweigh that $3,750, but maybe not the $7,500. So you can really play the game in both aspects. But yeah, that's like the quick synopsis on the Model 3 market right now. The last thing I want to go through with the Model 3 market is the used thing, and then we'll go into the used market, and then we'll go into the three. We'll go into some Q&A for questions, and then we'll go into some 3 articles of news that I found that I thought were pretty interesting today and this past week. And then I want to hear your guys' thoughts on it, because that's why I wanted to start this video, to just get your survey as well. But the 2022 used Model 3, it actually looks like it's taken some sort of impact. So I've got it sorted to 2022 Tesla Model 3. I don't have it sorted for base or long range or performance, and we'll just disregard this one because that's most likely a scam or some sort of salvage. But actually, maybe we won't discard it. I'm actually curious what's going on with this vehicle. Okay, so 1 accident reported. Okay, it's definitely, but it says clean title. Okay, we're just gonna skip it. It must have like a really bad battery, or it's just maybe missing a battery out, but it's super interesting to say the least. Okay, so we got some vehicles that are used, and they're in the 46 to 48, and most likely these are standard range ones. So let's sort it by long range, because I want to see what the cheapest long range vehicle that you can get. And it looks like this is it, 51,000, which is actually, that actually makes sense. I think we're moving back to the times where vehicles would lose 5 to 10, even 20% when you drive off the lot. And this actually makes sense, because if we were to look at what Model 3 pricing used to be before it was kind of discontinued and removed off the site, a brand new Model 3 all-wheel drive was $58,000. And a used one right now that has 3,000 miles, if we can confirm that this is a long range, is $53,000. So that's a $5,000 or 10% loss, give or take, right off the bat with 3,000 miles, which actually does not sound like a bad deal. I think we're past the days of people being able to buy a car immediately and then flip it for profit. I think we're definitely past those days, unless you have a really, really old price locked in, and then you're just golden. You can might as well just drive it for free. But we're definitely past the days, because a good handful of these, at least 5 to 10 so far, are under base price, which is a good sign. I mean, maybe not good for these dealers that are trying to sell them and flip them, or like resell resell them, but it's a good sign for a healthy, normal market in which we can get good discounts on used vehicles, and a used 1-year-old Tesla or even 6-month-old Tesla should be worth 10% less. So that just means more buyers can afford these and get them into them and try Teslas and experience them and also save on gas. But this is good. I like to see this because the Model Y market is not like this at all. I think the cheapest Model Y that we found yesterday was still like $1,000 or even right at MSRP of what a brand new one was. And that just did not make any sense whatsoever. But that's good to see the Model 3 market is down a little bit now. And my buying point for a same year one would be 10 to 20% less. And that's what I would want to target for it to make sense. But if I were interested in one of these vehicles in my exact used car strategy, what I usually do is I take one that I like and I go ahead and put it into a trade evaluator site. And I try and take a look, what would another dealer pay for this vehicle before I go ahead and buy it? So I go ahead and I put in, so let's see, this one rate that we found. Of course, putting in a dealer vehicle is probably not the best case scenario, and putting in a private one is probably a better one. But this one is a 2022 Tesla Model 3 long range. It's in Omaha. And we're going to put it's got 3,300 miles. So let's go ahead and put 3,400 miles. And let's just see what another dealer would pay for it. So this is interesting. So 51.4 basically, and they're selling it for 52.9. So this seems like on a surface level, a pretty fair deal. You're paying another $1,500 to this deal to make sure they're going to do the registration and everything for you. But you probably have to pay like a $300 to $500 dealer fee, processing fee to them. But unless this vehicle has like a bad Carfax report, this is not a bad deal, especially because it has the 19-inch rims, which is another feature on top of that. But let's just take a look at the Carfax report. And of course, we can't. But this one might not be a bad deal as long as there's no accidents on it. It doesn't look like they put anything in the description or anything like that. But this one might not be a bad one, and that's good. It's a healthy market. Vehicles are coming down as they should, and it might be a good time. I mean, I've been trying to figure out what am I going to do, and am I going to get into another Tesla? And the used market seems like it might be a good time to just snipe in there at 10 to 20% less, and so I'm definitely keeping my eye on a used one. Or basically trying to, or maybe even trying to put an order on a brand new one later on in December to see what's up. But let's get into the questions now. We'll do a quick break to get in some Q&A, and then we'll get in some news for Tesla right after that. So let me go ahead and figure out how I'm going to switch my screen. Okay, Golden Falcon, welcome back. I just placed my order for a rear-wheel drive on Labor Day. Congrats. What color did you get? I'm curious. And so are you not interested in the tax credit for next year? You just want to try and take delivery? Well, actually, the Model 3 wheel drive industry, or people are saying that that's not going to qualify at all because all the battery minerals from that come from China. So you're pretty much in a good spot there. But what is your delivery date? I'm actually curious. Is Tesla trying to push you to take delivery this year, or are they going to push you to next year? I'm actually super curious. ZV, dangerous to get a red in LA. Yes. So my first Tesla was actually red. My Model 3 Performance Stealth, which some of you might know what that is. But it was a Model 3 Performance in red, and that was my first Tesla. And then definitely I was very scared of that because you're paying like $2,000 for a red color. So I actually did PPF on it, did ceramic and all that stuff. And then I sold it 18 months later. So it wasn't worth it to do all that. But anyways, 200, 100 if you enhance. Exactly. ZV, no, you can't. I don't remember what I said during those times, but thank you for contributing and answering so that everybody else could follow along as well. Golden Falcon, 3750 of the battery is made in the US, not if the vehicle is made in the US. So it's actually broken into two parts as I've understood it. I think it's like assembly in the US is half of it, and then 3750 if the batteries minerals are sourced from the US, you get the other 3750. And if it's sourced from China, which I think like a majority of batteries are, then it does not qualify for that 3750. I do actually have a pretty good article that goes over that I bring up from time to time. I'll show you that once we go through these questions. It's actually from NPR. If you Google like NPR tax credit, it actually goes into a really good part and breaks down both sides of the tax credit so that you can understand easily, or that it helped me understand as well. ZV, I've seen the one in Venice. What'd you think? Did you drive it? Did you buy it? Did you negotiate? What happened? What happened? I'm actually curious. I do want to make a video because like I've been watching a lot of real estate videos where the realtor will call these houses listings and try and negotiate with them back and forth over the phone. And I thought that was pretty interesting. But let me know if you guys would like a video like that where I call dealerships that have these Teslas and just like lowball them or offer them like $3,000 to $4,000 less and just see how they respond or something like that. I thought that would be super interesting. Dennis Shu, what's up? What's up? Yes, it is me. Welcome to the channel. Welcome to your first stream of our daily Tesla market live streams. Basically, the sentiment is the market is correcting on used cars, but it's really just going back to what it was before and how when you drove off a lot, your vehicle was worth 10 to 20% left. We've been in this euphoria, I guess, for the past 1 to 2 years where vehicles were worth more as you drove out the lot, and we're just getting back to normal. So we're just going back to what it was before. Tuner Gold, the car that you're looking at is a rebuilt title. Yeah, it's definitely scary. You gotta be careful out there, and that's probably why it had a lower price, extremely low price. Say hi, bro. Yep. Hey, hi, bro. Let's see, what do we got? Dang, there's a lot of you in this chat today. Welcome tonight. Thanks for joining me on this Friday. I love all the comments. Greg, what do you think of the chances that Tesla will reduce prices for the end of quarter 2022 or end of the 22, considering their backlog is really caught up to the number of models? So I don't think that Tesla is going to reduce prices this year at all. And if they do, it's going to be very, very, very minuscule. It's going to be like $1,000 to $2,000. And I don't even think they're going to do that actually, like in terms of like adjust pricing. What I actually think, and they've actually done this in the past, what I actually think they're going to do is they're going to offer like a $1,000 to $2,000 or maybe even $3,000 option credit, in a sense that if you want red color or blue color or 19-inch rims or white interior, we will waive that cost from the build and you'll get it for essentially free. So that's what they did in the past. They did that about 2 to 3 years ago. They might do something like that in the end of the quarter, December. I was hoping they would do something like that in September, which is this month, the end of quarter this month, but I haven't heard of anything yet. The other thing that they've done in the past, and that I don't really see them doing just because of the energy crisis, I guess is the better word to say, or issues going on. The other thing that they've done in the past is they've offered or incentivized, like if you take delivery now, you can then get 1 year or 2 free years of supercharging. And Dennis Shu actually knows, I think we were both buying Tesla at the same time, so maybe he might remember that as well. But they've done that in the past. And the third thing that they might do, and I don't know if there's like legalities of it or anything like that, but Troy Teslike, a Twitter user who tracks Tesla delivery sales, and just like he's got like some sort of algorithm with like people submitting stuff like that. He actually reported a few days ago, and I made a video about this. So shout out to Troy Teslike for having just more knowledge than I do. But Tesla China actually offered a over $1,000 discount on their vehicle if you took delivery this month, which is this quarter, if you also bought their insurance as well. So that's like a super interesting way to kind of combine both revenue streams, or maybe I've heard like Tesla insurance insurance in China for Tesla is not Tesla insurance, but it's still like some other related company or something like that. But that's interesting. Like what if Tesla America added some sort of discount like that to boost revenue, like pat each other on the back for Tesla insurance and Tesla sales? Would you guys sign up for Tesla insurance? What if Tesla insurance was $10 more a month for you versus your current insurance, but you got to save $1,000 off your current vehicle? Would you sign up for Tesla insurance? I mean, that's pretty compelling to say the least. But going back to some of the other questions, Golden Falcon, I got blue. Real world drive doesn't qualify, but I'm looking to switch to long range. My delivery date is November 10th to December 15th. Interesting. Very interesting. Okay, so they might try and push you to this year. But that's cool. Rear wheel drive is cool. I was really hoping that like maybe the rear wheel drive would qualify for the $7,500 tax credit, because that would bring a Model 3 to under $40,000, which is just absolutely insane for a base one. Yao FOMO, welcome back to another stream, another video, another day. Should you sell your Mach-E? That's a good, maybe I should do a video on a Mach-E, because I was thinking like what other type of trade-in content or market content should I do, because I've been pretty focused on Tesla these days. But we should do a Mach-E one. We should do some Ionic action, some Rivian action. But yeah, let me know in the comments if you guys want to see stuff like that for other brakes and or other basically Model Y competitors and Lightning and truck competitors and stuff like that. See how the market's doing, see if there's any action up or down or anything like that. But getting back to the tax credit question, I just want to review it really quickly. So this is an article from NPR that breaks down the tax credit. So basically the title is, you can get a $7,500 tax credit but to buy an electric car, but it's really complicated. And it's really complicated because a lot of people don't know it's broken out into two parts. And the two parts are 3750, 3750. The first part is if 40% of the critical minerals in the EV batteries are sourced from countries which have a U.S. free trade agreement, you get the 3750. The other 3750 is if the components are manufactured and assembled in North America. And so industry rumor is that not a lot of EVs are going to qualify for both of these, and only one EV might qualify, and that either is going to be the Mach-E, or it's going to be the Model Y, or maybe a combination of both. But one of my friends, Sam Su, which I've done co-streams with in the past, and he does a lot of analysis on this, and also with like tax, like environmental tax credits and stuff like that. He's done a lot of research on this, and he seems to think the Nissan Leaf is also going to qualify, and I think another vehicle which doesn't come off the top of my head, but super interesting stuff to say the least. But we won't know. No one has announced it yet, and I don't think anybody's going to announce it till January 1st, because they don't want to. Mostly Tesla doesn't want to mess with any year sales, but a lot of other manufacturers know the game too, and they don't want to mess with year-end sales for 2022. But to get into some other news for Tesla, this was some FUD off of Twitter, which this was interesting because it seems like a lot of people are posting this video clip that like Teslas were waiting at a station for a long time, and like EV charging is bust and stuff like that. But this original video, just to give some clarification, I think this original video, well, I know this original video was like at least 2 to 3 years ago, and it actually was like a Thanksgiving time. So it's really weird that this video is like surfacing up again. You can see like some kids in like some holiday, Christmas or winter wear. So it's not even like this time of the year. It's just like everybody started, they must have gotten together as a group and started to try and post this video up onto the Twitter sphere to try and get people to rile up on like the grid can't handle it, EV charge, there's not enough chargers. But Tesla has installed a ton of chargers since, and the other charging network that isn't really up to speed yet is Electrify America, which they really need to get their stuff together. Sorry, quick break. So the other news is that there's Tesla AI Day #2 coming out, and there's rumors, or I think Elon has said as like Tesla Bot is coming out. This is going to be on September 30th, which is a really interesting day because that's last day of the month and last day of the quarter. But this should be super interesting. I'm definitely going to be watching parts of it, or at least some sort of recap, just to see what's up. And I think like Tesla also put like a bunch of hiring that they're going to have a lot of these bots working at their factories. So it's going to be super interesting to see if this is going to be an actual revenue stream, or is this just some sort of distraction from Elon to try and just, you know, push something up, because Tesla is going to need it. And the last thing I wanted to touch on was like Tesla stock has been a buzz today because it's dropped to like 275, which is pretty scary to say the least. But if you're Tesla bullish, there's going to be a lot of good things coming out next year, including the tax credit, and hopefully the Model Y qualifies, and maybe hopefully is the only vehicle or one of the only 2 vehicles that qualify, because that's going to be Tesla bullish for next year and the year after, because a lot of these other manufacturers do not have factories coming up online and won't have factories coming online in the US for another couple of years. But that's basically it. There's like one more question from Golden, or comment, Golden Falcon. That's battery components. Yeah, so I mean, I don't know. I mean, that's how I interpret it. Maybe you have a different, you have better insight than I do. I think that maybe the Model Y will only get 3750. Definitely not the Model 3, or maybe the Model 3 will also get 3750. But we won't know until Tesla, the EPA, and the IRS all get together and they just have a party and decide for all of that. But I mean, I'm hoping the Model Y and the Model 3 both get the full 3750 credit, and hopefully Tesla doesn't raise any prices as well. But my strategy is I might throw an order in December to try and lock in the lower prices while it's still enough, because even if it goes down, you can just cancel or adjust to the lower one. But if it goes up, you're basically locked in and you're good for a bit. But that's been my my analysis on today's video or my analysis on the Model 3 for today's video. I would, if I needed a car today, I would absolutely maybe buy one. But at the same time, I'm always looking for those deals. So I'm also very patient as well, because I especially want to see if the Model 3 long range will qualify for the tax credit, like 3750 or 7500. But my wildest speculation is that Tesla is going to combine the Model 3 and the Model 3 long range. They're going to adjust the price and have one version to like $54,000, right under the $55K sedan price cap. And then later on, they'll say like, if you absolutely need the longer range, you can pay us a $100 subscription fee, or pay us a $7,500 after sale option credit or something like that. But that's just my conspiracy hat. That's like if I wanted all the revenue as a Tesla employee or something like that, that's what I would try and like finagle or push into there, just so we get best of both worlds. We get the tax credit for everybody and including ourselves, as well as getting that extra revenue if they want to subscribe for extra range, heated seats, full self-driving, autopilot, premium connectivity, and everything. But yeah, let me know your guys' thoughts on this. Like, are you buying Teslas right now? Do you have orders available? Is the tax credit nothing or moot to you because you make good money and it doesn't even matter anyway? I want to know your thoughts. I want to know what you guys are doing. And yeah, thanks for watching today's video. Please hit that like and subscribe. I hope you enjoyed today's content on our daily market tracking of what's going on. I expect to see a lot of vehicles drop next week, or even maybe this weekend, as there's just more action to the end of the quarter as Tesla just tries to push sales as much as possible. And hopefully Tesla will hit their number, but it doesn't seem like they are going to get close by what some people are reporting, like Troy Tesla. It seems like we're not getting close to the end of quarter sale or something like that. But I'll go into that on a different video. I have to look into that and everything. But thanks for watching this stream. Please hit that like if you enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys in the next one. See ya.